Come here, no? Alright guys, we just setting up at the moment. Alright, so I'm gonna voice some with the music then. Right, so I didn't abandon you, right? Stuck to my word, my brush came back. Right? Yeah. So we are back. You guys see me? Hey, let's go. And my brush is here, guys. So sometimes you just have to restart the computer. And my computer has not been off since day before yesterday. I was running lives consistently. Even through the night while I was sleeping, my computer is running live. So, back to what we're doing. We're doing touch and burn, right? Let me turn on the volume on the background audio because I know I have a kind of powerful voice. Right, so yeah. Tell me one song in there. Maybe I transfer there somehow. Right, so we're going into dodge and burn. So what we're gonna do now is zoom in. Oh, right, window extension retouching tool. So what I was saying is that I will show you how to do anything you see here across here from scratch, right? That knowledge is starting to fade because why there's always a short way to do. So I'm gonna hold Alt and roll the mouse and zoom in. Right, so I heard the music is not too loud, a little bit too loud. Nice, that's supposed to be good there. Stop the record. How can I forget to record it myself? It's busy. Nice, good. Now the eyes are a bit dark. What we could do is touch on it. But that touch, that's not looking good. So what we have to do is Control and Z to undo that. And our opacity here, we could bring that down to like 10. 10. So type in the number 7 and slightly, ever so slightly add light. Right? That was slight, right? So the center of the eye now, you get it like 40. Where it has that bright piece here, that is our part in one strong. You understand? Before and after. Right? Focus on the eyes, guys. Zoom in, pay attention. Move this out of the way for now. Hold this, watch the eyes. Before and after. Not too much. Not everywhere is getting the same. So it's 0, 7, we pressing on the keyboard and 7 came up here, right? If you press 7 alone, you'll get 70. See 70 there? Watch where the mouse is. I'm going again. 0, 7, you'll get 7. Press 7 alone, you'll get 70. Right? So we're going in the eyes again here. And we just ever so slightly dabbing and touching and lightening the eyes here. Alright? Zooming out. So the eyes brings the focus to the image. The focus is supposed to be one of those pupils, right? Now let's watch the face. There's something we could do. It's a pro tip, right? You click to the top of the dodge and burn. You can click inside the folder. So whatever we click again will end up in the folder. So you're creating a new layer called threshold. Right? Zoom out, Control and 0. What we doing here, Yara? Well, I'll show you. So we taking the slider and we're going down just a little bit. What I'm trying to do is find a light source. So we're shifting it to the right. Where is the light coming from? So as you can see from the right here, if we go left, the light source will start to appear in the picture, not bottom half, but in the picture from the top right hand corner. Maybe your left, right? So that's where the light's coming from, and then you'll see it coming on our forehead, the cheeks, the nose, and all these areas, and then everywhere is brightened up. So what's the purpose of that? Let's convert this layer to something you could understand, not I alone. So let's put it at soft light. Soft light is better, right? So we take it off, we come and we take off the light switch in the room and put it back on. So you see right on her forehead there, like you see that light coming on, that is where you'll dodge. Where you don't see light, that is where you burn. And that is where light and darks merge and give you that seamless symmetry and that beautiful picture at the end of it, right? So we're just taking that off. I was just showing you how photographers identify or retouchers identify where to dodge and work. Let's go. Now there's global and there's global and there's local dodge and burn, right? The global one is the whole image. Well, the local one is the whole image and the global one is the small ones, right? So what we do, click 1 on the keyboard and we get 10 there. Increase the size of the brush. We're on the dodge and burn layer, dodge layer. Keep zooming, keep minimizing the size of the brush. And ever so slightly just stroke. And it could go before and after. Control, it could come out. And you can see what it does, right? So you can enlarge the brush and just click once. And you will see there's a big difference, right? But it's slight, and that's what you want, right? Slight changes. Because you want it to look like a flawless picture, but not plastic. You want plastic, you know. You want a plastic image of it, right? And also you can make sure that the hardness on the brush is completely down. Right? So you're on a soft brush. Right? Before and after. Right? Now we could zoom in. We could outline the lips. This is where you go really small, and because you're going so small, you can hit like 40 and just pass it on top. Right? Zoom back out, and you see it helps with the outline of the lips, right? So every area gets a different opacity, right? Small strokes, and some strokes can be even smaller. You could go as far as like 7 with the brush tool being so small. You zoom out, you see it polishes her lips more. So it adds to what the makeup artist has done, right? Now you're pressing 10, well 1, zooming out and even brightening ever so slightly these areas here. And you consistently see where you want to enhance. So I want to enhance the smile line, so I actually pass a dodge here on top of this light area here, before and after. So it increases, you know, the smile. Right? The smile has already the shadow part. I'm increasing the brightness aspect of it. So just take your time and edit. Pay attention to what you're doing. So this is eyeshadow. There's a bright part in the center here, but dark parts on the corners, right? And also a bright part under the eyebrow. So what I'll do, hit 10. And we pass ever so slightly. Alright? Both sides, right? Zoom out. Before and after. I'm doing the zoom out for you all to see. But normally I'll just edit and zoom out after, right? I could switch to burn, enlarging the brush, and darken the sides. Right? Now, the light area here is not the same light area as here. So you have to pay attention, amigo, right? we can just do the same thing on the right eye, on the left eye, right? So the dodge area is right here, the part of brightness is right here, and the dodge area is more on this side, on the left side, right? Now, I like to highlight the eyelashes. It brings more focus to the eyebrows, right? So I will hit like 30 and go down the eyeline part where you pass the eyeliner and go a second time. And then you will see, when you zoom out, there's a great impact on the eyes. The housing is the eye. So we go on top here now. Same 30 I would use. Enlarge it a bit. Go again. Stop here because I don't want to, have to change the size of the brush. And then now, for all these eyelashes, right, I go in and I take my time. And I go a little higher than usual because it gives the eyelash length, right? So yes, right now it looks like a child playing with crayons, but when you zoom in, zoom out, you will see, right? So it gives those eyelashes that kind of fly feature there, before and after. This is how your image will look on this is how your image will look on social media platforms. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is what we want. So it's not how good it looks close in, but how good it looks close, zoomed out. Right? So we're doing the same thing. Ever so slightly. Now you may ask, why am I not painting white on the eyelashes? Because eyelashes is supposed to be something black. It's supposed to be something dark. It's supposed to be something thin. It doesn't, and it has shadows. So it's not part of the body where, it's bright and exuberant. No, eyelashes is dark. It's something dark. You understand? Eyebrows the same too. But again, green and swords, right? So that is too much for me. I will go in with 10. So I press 1. Carry down the sides of the brush. Start a little before. Stop. Carry down the sides of the brush again, and then continue. The more you could pay attention and mind your business, like when you're editing, is the better it will be for you. Alright? Before and after. Before and after. So you're seeing the changes, a lot of the changes now that are coming through. Any issues you're having with audio or anything, just let me know in the comment section below. Anything you're not seeing, comment below. Comment, guys, comment in the section so I could know what really going on, right? Back to the editing. And I appreciate the messages, whether negative or positive. Right, so we're going to the tattoo now, and here we're going to crank it up. 70, right? We're going to zoom straight down, and then just put like a dot there. And then we're going to follow the design. I may not get the entire design correct. Alright. I'm trying my best here. It's alright. Now, as you can see, 70 is too dark. It worked before on other images, and then work on this one. So I'm going to use 30. I will use before. 30 seems good. Actually flag it over like that. Alright, so that's much more realistic. That's much more realistic. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna switch the brush, press X, and we're gonna go in and clean up this tattoo. So we press X to switch it to black. Black hides, white reveals, just like life. The truth reveals white and darkness in black, right? So zoom down and change your opacity to like 70, and you could really get in the corners and everywhere. So it's not like a broad brush attack. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Nice. So clean up the tattoo properly. So from the outside, it looks amazing. You zoom in there, it looks like crayons, right? So far, so good. So far, everything is great. Right, nice. Thanks. Right. The chain has a little dark spot, so we're going on dodge and burn, and we're on 70. So if we pull it down, how does it look? Right, so you can't see because it was thing, right? So 70 is too much to stick here, so I'm going to use like 40, right? Before and after. Putting in some work on that chain, right? And some work here. Alright, so now we clean up. Just showing you all, how to clean, how to, you make a mess, you can clean your own mess. Alright, put it on 0 to clean up the sides of the chain. So it looks like, she went to the jeweler and cleaned up the chain piece. Alright. Sagittarius within, just clean it up. What you could do is click dodge, burn, hit X, and you can hit like 30 and add like a dark part on the underneath here to make it look more realistic, right? And in between the corners, the crevices there of the chain, you could use the dodge to bring it back. Remember, light and dark works together, right? So before and after, right? Here now we could add some dodge to this chain here. Alright. Brighten it up there. Excellent. Now the earrings, we could also, you see like I was in the dark here, you could hit like 70 on the dodge, right? And brush it. And it's still gonna be in the dark, right? So you see it brings it back out. Now if you do that on this side, it's too much, right? I mean, it's covered by the hair, so it got away, but normally it does too much, right? So what we're gonna do, we hit dodge, burn underneath to bring out that shine. Again, too much, Control and Z, hit 30, Control and Z. Alright, and that's a nice polish there. So it actually glimmers a little bit. This one's dark in the corner here, so 0. Okay. Nice, so jewelry's on point. Let's check the nails. Right, the nails, what we want to do now, burn. I just tipped it. So all the design on the nails is just hit burn. Zoom out and it's in focus now, right? It's a little sloppy, so here what we're gonna do. Dodge. Brighten it up here. Not so much, like about 40. Around the nail. So now the nails, you can see it from a distance. Ready? Before and after. Right? The hair. So we're gonna do, the hair has black and white. To bring out her face, you start from her eyes, then you dodge and burn the face, and you do in the hair. Everything complements each other and goes together, right? And coming out together. Now let's go. Okay. So dodge and burn, send that to 30. Dodge, set it to 30. I'll go with the strand here. Ready? And we just go, we could just roll down. Just roll it in. Right? Look at that braid. Before and after. Before and after. Right? And it helps illuminate even where the eyes are and stuff. Right? Now you press for time and you may want to clean up straight hairs and things, but you may not have time for it. What you could do is use what we learned, the dodge and the burn. Hair strands that are all over the place are litten. So if you want them neat and invisible, you will have to darken them, right? So let me show you. This whole patch here, right, is showing. Let's neaten it up. Click 70 and then all of a sudden it disappears. It's not magic. That's how it works. Shadows is close to that. You understand? Highlight is closer. Exposure, light. Right? So you click 40 and you could do it with other areas. This one I neaten up here. You understand? All here, let's neaten it down and make these strands, the braids, much more visible. Alright? Much more organized. So before and after. Alright? Look at this area here. We don't want to see this. Alright? We don't want to see that. And we need to know all in between. Is you guys light? It's dark? What it is? So this could go 30 and we could just have to neaten up on top here. And it doesn't have to completely disappear, but it needs to neaten up. You understand? All on the forehead. That's a bit too much on the forehead. So what I'll do is like 10 and take my time and okay, 10 is too much. Let's go to 0.4. The strap here and here. The part, not the trap, the part. You press 30 and start to darken it. And it conceals it, you understand? I've neatened up everything. Alright, so the top here now is a bit too bright. So right now concealing a lot of shades. Press for time, right? Nice. What we want to do is like the nose now doesn't burn. We're gonna burn it, right? 10, well, 1. Then you just draw the line down here. This is to shape the nose and make the nose smaller, ever so slightly. Alright. The lips also could burn it a little bit. Alright. So we get in there. Now the contour, we could edit this on the side here. 10 is good. You could darken it if you want a little more. And also, remember, kind of contouring the face, right? Shaping things, right? So the bosom does have a little light on the corners, right? And to just get rid of some of that shadow by the neck there, just a little touch ever so slightly. Alright? Just lighten up the area by the neck there a little bit. Right. What you could do also, create a new layer outside. Click the brush tool, press X, press D, and then press X. You want the neck to be the same color as there. Painting it on fully. Okay. Press X, paint it on fully. Alright. Zoom out. Click on color. Right. It's a bit too strong. So what we do now, we play with the opacity, send it straight down, and we kind of come up and see where it really blends. Right. So 50, 59. So I'll put like 65. So before and after. Right. That's the new neck there. Click our mask and anything like over the arm. over the jacket, we just want to brush off a little bit, right? There you have it. So the neck merges, the color is the same, right? That's how they work. It's very small though. Right, so we're going to selective color. We wrap it up here now, guys. Wrap it up here, right? So going to selective color, and sometimes, you know, the background is blue, the jacket is multicolored, and it reflects light. So things that reflects light often are white, right? Or have a blue tinted. The skin though captured some of that. So we want to bring some back, some of the reds back in the skin, right? There's one on the green side, if you're really watching. So let's go. That looks good to me. A little bit of magenta, then we go to the yellows. So what I'm trying to say is, skin tone is in the reds and the yellows, right? And then we move the yellows across, right? And just a little bit on the side, not much. And then the yellows, we could just put a little bit. So this selective color here, I would hold Control and I, and this whole thing becomes black, so it becomes undone. What I do is hold on to the quick selection tool and select her face, right? And her wherever skin is open to, right? Doesn't have to be like an exact graph. Hold Alt to minimize the excess, right? And there we go. So inside this little realm here, we are on the selective color layer mask, and we're going to hold Control and backspace, and then hold Control and D. So now you can see only her skin got that. Now, oh no, Yara, her hand. Right, so we're going to select her hand and not select the jacket, right? And then hold the same Control and backspace, Control and D, and there you have it. To blend this even more, you're going to double click here, and then you're clicking on mask, right? And then you can feather 1.5. So that's to feather the edges of the selection, right? So I will name this skin. Now I will put a next selective color layer, but this is going on the skin. Why? I don't want anything above it compiling on the skin. The skin is one color and the rest will be another color underneath. All changes will be underneath, and the skin is supposed to be important. That is the most important. So that says it, right? Alright, let's go. So the top is multicolored. So as you can see, if I play with the cyans, you'll get a little friction, right? But I'm not setting that right. So let's go to whites. What kind of whites are, right? So this whites kind of brings out blues. Have a little blue in the light, and then this brings out a little yellow, a little warm, right? So it's a little yellow, right? And that is for what? Blue is cool and yellow is warm. That is how colors are interpreted. So a lot of things are touching on head topics, and they break down into subtopics, right? Again, any questions you have, ask any live, I'll further explain, right? So we're going into neutrals, and neutrals is, are we balancing this whole picture? What color we're looking for? So we're just going 1, -1. I would say just +1 on the magentas, and on the yellows +1, and I'll just go 1. It could be very slight, you understand? And the blacks are very important. So blacks now, I add a little green because it's set. When it go to the more cyan and you add the reds, it doesn't separate, but the green does. You see it gets darker, you see it get more serious, right? So we add a little green city here. Magentas, you add just a little bit because that color is very strong. And I like a little blue in the shadow, just like in movies, cinematic movies, orange and teal. Show you here about that already, right? The blacks, you just go down just a bit, and now we have a more polished photo. So look at the person, and look at the hair, and look at all this. Let's just hit Control, Shift, Alt, and E, and merge everything together. Then put skin to group 1, hold Shift and click, and then put all of that in a group now. Take off the group, pause. Let us see what we have done so far. So layer 6 and background, that's what we're checking. So we're taking off the layer 6 off. This is before. On. This is after. Off. Before and after. So you understand the colors you're getting. The colors, and the skin is clean and it's much more polished, and these things are very lovely, right? We're holding Control and J twice, right? We're gonna separate her from the background, right? To give it a little more blur in the back and a much more focus on her, right? So we take it off the eyeball on layer 6, copy 2. We put in it, we selecting layer 6, and then we are going to select subject, and Photoshop AI is about to select the subject. So you see the AI select the subject. I didn't do that. Right? I didn't do that, guys. And now we're gonna hit modify, expand. I like about 7 pixels, and it's still too close, so I'm gonna hit another 7 pixels. So what the expand does is raises off the edges. You can see the space between, I said between the hair and the strays on the wall, right? Now that we did that and we selected that, just make sure everything is here. Now we're gonna go edit, content aware fill, right? And this is what Photoshop separates her from the background and creates an imaginary background, right? Because Photoshop does not know what's behind her, but it's assuming because I separate the background, right? So we still have this, it's still loading, right? So as you can see, it was the wall was green and all of that, right? Now we go into layer 6 that we took off on top, press back the eyeball, and press the layer mask. Now watch the layer mask, watch this. It comes on, take off everything else except that layer, and bam, she's on her own layer. Okay, so let's go filter, other, minimize. And it actually looked like it ate away the edges of her hair, right? Because we could put it like 7 to avoid that, right? So what it does, it kind of neatens the edges. So I didn't even have to go through replacing here and all. Then we put back on the background. Now, watch this. When we take off this, we have this background here, right? 2 things. We could blur this background. How much? 40. You can do it even more than that. 70, right? And also, if you want, you could actually edit the background now. So the edges are rough, so I'm going to use the spot healing brush, right? And again, the eye is working. Right, so what we can do now is actually go on the next layer, show you how to fix anything. Brush, select the color up here, roll the brush, make the brush bigger with the brackets. Okay, we don't want that color, press X, and shading down. Right? The opacity on this could be like about 65, right? Then we blur this. right? Put it back on. Now, take these 2 layers and make it 1 layer, right? Merge layers. Then blur it even more. Bam! Alright? So, there we go. Now, the blur is too much, right? So we could hit it like about 35. Right? So the background is a different color. Now we can further edit the background. Let's go. So I'm gonna pin this selective color to the background by using the clipping mask tool, and then I'm going to science because that's what I'm seeing there, right? And we increase the science, right? And then we get a lovely separation of color, because the client now, her color isn't blue. She has red and yellow tones, and the opposite of red and yellow is close to blue, right? Then we could go to the blue tab and edit it even more. So right now we are adjusting the background, right? So before and after. Now what we could do is go on levels and dial down, right? So we clip a mask again, dial down the back, right? And the back I want to blur even more, so control 35, nice. Now the dial down is a bit too strong, right? Let's bring it up, and we're going down. And it brings back the element of her, the shadow, this side here, right? For her now, what we could do is same levels and just increase the brightness just a tad, right? Before and after, but we're pinning this on her, right? So we have this beautiful image here. Control, Shift, Alt, and E, merge, you get everything. Take off all the layers that except the one we just made. So we layer 8 and the background before and after, right? Now I will delete the 8 and I still find that it was too strong on the back, right? On the levels. So I'm gonna bring it like right here. That's good to me, alright? Okay, so this is an image, beautiful image. When it is Control and G, when it is you're doing this kind of work, there are times when you are editing and the skin now, what tends to happen with the skin is that you may have lost some skin texture. So what we're gonna do is create a layer, right? Edit, fill, 50% gray, and click that layer and 50% gray, right? Then we're going to filter, noise, add noise, right? Uniform, monochrome, 35%, right? Then we're going to filter, other, no, filter, noise, add noise, and then emboss. That's what I'm looking for. Stylize, emboss, right? And you get this texture feel, right? And now you zoom, you can really see it, right? Now if I hit soft light and you go to her face, you will see that when I click before and after, it looks like a pores, like even a pores all over her, right? So what we're gonna do now, we want this blur just a bit to hit in Control and more. And the blur we want is 1%, 1 pixel, right? So this layer we'll call Sharpen, SHARPEN, right? Zoom out, this is the sharp layer. Now we don't want the sharp layer all over, right? Concentrate, we're nearly finished. So if we're on the layer mask, hitting Control and I for it to hide the sharpen. We're gonna select the subject because we want just her face more or less on her body to get some of that sharpening, right? So you're gonna select coming down, or better yet, Control and D. Take this. Now you can't take that image, right? This has a hair in it too. Alright, we can do it. Control and left click, drag it up to the sharpen. Yes, you want to replace that layer. So now only her has the sharpen, has the pose effect, right? So with her neck, where we had to do some work on it, the pores are back there, right? Now, I'll take up the sharpening and I'll create a new layer, right? I have a brush set that I use for eyes, right? I hope it's in this version of Photoshop, right? I made it. Texture smoothing. I did have it. Is there a search bar for this? Right. Sketch, texture line. Alright, I will add that in another time because I'll have to go and look for that brush right now. I have no idea why I have that brush, right? However, what we're gonna do is create a little highlight in the eyes, right? For now, to replace the brush that I was going to do, right? So we're creating this elliptical 2 layer to fit in our eye, just like so. And then we're holding Alt and Shift and holding another, making another one and passing it under the eyelid. Or no, we're gonna just do it like this. Okay, we're gonna do it right under the eyelid, right? And then we hold it Alt Shift and creating another circle and a small one, right? Shapes, right here. Bam. Alright, so this, alright, so we're undoing that. What we're gonna do is minus a 1. So it's just Alt holding. Alright, again a little. Oh man, Control and Z, Alt, hold it, move. Right there, right? What we're gonna do is make sure your foreground color is white, and it's in Control and backspace, right? You click in overlay, right? And now you can see, yes, there is blue in the eyes, but that is from when we made the colors before. So we do Control and J, we move tool and moving this to the next eye. Right, Control and T to shape it because the 2 eyes aren't the same size, right? And there you go. Now, each one of this is blur, right? 1.5, and that's good. The next one, 1.5. Let's step back. Now we have an issue. Some of the colors of the eyes went across. So we're going to saturation, colorize, right? And then we carrying this up. No, not colorize. Yeah, colorize. Saturation like about 55. And then we're going like about 27. 29 looks good to me. Right? Control and I. Take the brush tool, so we're taking up these 2 highlight layers, right? Take the brush tool and paint on the eyes ever so slightly, right? Paint on the eyes. Damage control, guys, right? Come back, too much, obviously, right? So what we want to do is drop this to like about 35. Right? Let's try 65 and see what goes on. Then you bring out the layers from before. Now the brown comes back, right? However, it's too strong, so I'm gonna try 45. Nice. Alright? So some things I like to fix after, because if I fix the eyes before and then do all the colors, what tends to happen is that the eyes now takes the color of everything, but we're not going to take the blue out of our eyes from the color. We're not going to do that. So let's do the teeth. So I have a brush for the teeth. Right? I'll link that in the description below and I'll play it, right? For the sake of time, because I know this has been a long video. It's after 6 and I started this 4 o'clock. So, wow. Take the brush tool, right? And we're going to just pass it on her teeth, right? Ever so slight. So we get a separation of colors. In Photoshop, you could be a dentist, you could be a surgeon, you could be a plastic surgeon, you could be a eye doctor, you could be somebody's physical trainer, you could do anything in Photoshop. Right? Now this Colgate smile, not too bright. Right? So we're carrying that down and then we're taking our time and going up. Alright? 45 looks good to me. Before and after. Right? So this is the image we have so far, right? A few layers well. Again, I like to group everything. Control shift everything. Before and after. Before and after. Before and after. Alright? Now, what we could do is duplicate this, put a layer mask right here above the briefcase, and we're going to paint, we're going to crop. So normally what clients do is they like their images for social media. So I'm going to crop it out here and out here. That looks good to me. Alright. So it gives it a little more professional finish. To make sure that color remains, I'm going to hold the bucket tool and I'm going to press X and hit the back. And this layer now is white. Now I'm going to add my logo, right? You guys can add your logo or you can leave it as is, okay? The logo layer, I'm going to put it on top. Control and T. I'm going to minimize it. And there you have it, guys. This is the finished photo, right? Hold Control, Hold Shift E. Take off all the layers before and after. Before and after. Right? File, export. So watch my export settings. Come on, amigo, you have to hold on there. Can't fall asleep here. We now reach the best part. You understand what I'm saying? You can't fall asleep. You have to stay up. You reach export settings and go and fall asleep. You will throw away your entire picture. Alright? So we going over the height, the longest length, right? And we highlighting 2048. Right? And that will minimize it to a compressed size for social media where you won't get any issues. Alright. So let's save. Right? So again, 2025 is a new year. So I have to create a folder to save it in. Alright? Authentic photography. Final. So once I reach final folder, another that's in the time. No, I'm kidding. If the client wants any changes, they could get. Alright? So That's it, guys. This is the before and this is the after. All right, so let me minimize this here now. And let's go to my home screen. So this is an image I did for a guy, right? And it's Bible story pages. So what I'm gonna do is set this as a wallpaper, desktop wallpaper. And you will notice that any size it's set up now, it's gonna look good. It's gonna look good. It's the editing, the settings, everything, the export settings, everything that we put together in our work. This is the final package. All right. So happy birthday to this young lady, Isis. All praise to the Most High. This was an excellent video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. If you want more content like this, hit that notification bell, and I am willing to answer all your questions. If you see this live after, that's no problem. Ask a question, I make a video, and I will do it. That is what my goal is for 2025. All right, guys. See you all in the next one.